Hello everyone, Matt Bobulas here. Today I'm gonna do a training. I'm gonna play the game. Of course, during the game I will explain. What am I thinking about and things like that. Later I'm gonna go through the game. I'm gonna do the whole process to analyze this game. So I'm gonna go through the game without any engine's help, and of course write it down. And later I'm gonna check my analysis with the engine. This is probably the best tool to improve your chess, right? So yes. But before I start, one last word. I really encourage you to join to my 10-week course to improve your chess. The link you can find in the description. Okay, so I'll try to play. Of course, I don't want to play any blitz game because, you know, in blitz games you don't have a time to think. You don't have enough time to think, so I'll play 10 minutes. And okay, I think at this time I can find someone for 10 minutes. Okay, I get the first opponent, international. Okay, so I start with the d4 as usual. f5. Okay, so f5, that opening is called the Dutch. Okay, in the Dutch, it's a good idea to delay the c4 move, at least in the plans that I play. So I start with g3. g3, not knight f3, because now b6 and bishop b7 is not possible, because I play my bishop here and opponent cannot develop bishop there. Okay, d5. So, you know, in the Dutch there are 3 lines, and now I can say that most probably opponent is gonna play a stone wall, which is, you know, e6, later c6, and that kind of structure we call it stonewall. Okay, so today I'm gonna show you how to fight against that one of the most solid pawn structures. Okay, so castling. Now usually black develops bishop to e6 or to d6 or e7, bishop e7, bishop d6. You see, that bishop is very important for both sides. I mean, for black it's important because it helps to attack, and this is the reason why I will try to exchange it. So I will go there. My plan is to go b3, bishop a3. I really want to exchange that bishop. Okay, pawn goes to b3. Also, without that bishop, the e5 square is also quite weak. Okay, so I go bishop a3, as promised. Okay, bishop captures a3, of course I have to take it back. Queen e7. Okay, and now take a look. All of my minor pieces are developed, although they are not placed, you know, that knight is not placed very well. What is a very common plan at this position? I want to, first of all, improve position of my pieces. Second thing, I want to put some pressure on that square. You know, that would be the best if I can put my knight there. Of course, one knight is not enough because opponent can easily chase it. So what's my plan? I'm gonna play queen c1, protecting the knight. Later queen b2. I move my queen. I make a space for my rooks. Also, queen is watching that square as well. And later, at least in the model, I'm gonna make a very long maneuver with the knight, so I get even more control over that square. And this is what I'm going to do. Okay, knight d7, queen b2, everything according to the plan. Now I don't need to bother with any e5 moves. Okay, b6. Okay, b6 is a common move. And now, should I start with the rook, or should I bring my with the knight, or should I bring my rooks first? If I go knight c2, I'm a little bit afraid of this move. Yeah, you know what? It's 100%. It's not a bad idea to bring a piece closer into the center. Okay, bishop a6. I expected something like that, not that quickly. So now I have to calculate, because okay, so can I continue my idea or not? Because pawn is hanging. So probably not. Probably I have to do something before I move my knight. But okay, but I have got one idea. What happens if I capture? And that pawn is hanging. You can see that my rook attacks that that pawn at c6. So if I capture, okay, if pawn takes, I'll take there. I know I may lose there, but I'm not afraid. Because if bishop captures e2, I play rook e1, bishop is pinned. If queen captures, I can exchange queens. I don't mind to go into the endgame. But if I capture, opponent takes with this thing, and I play, let's say, rook c7. Is that good for me or what? So what opponent has to play knight e8? Yeah, I think I'll try. Knight takes d5. Okay, I have to admit that I even didn't consider this move. And, you know, first of all, that pawn is hanging. This is the reason why I'm not very convinced to this move. Second thing, now I can bring my knight to e5 even faster, right? I can go here and here. So what, rook takes c6. What happens after rook takes c6? Opponent's gonna take there. I take here. Opponent takes there, and I take e6 pawn. Very good for me. Am I missing something? If I take this pawn? Okay. Hopefully, you know, in Poland it's early in the morning, but hopefully I don't miss anything. Bishop e2. Okay, I think I calculated this line and I can take it there. And even if opponent captures my knight, I'm gonna take pawn at d6. Okay, I won. Okay, that was a pretty short game. But you see, even if you, of course, the best games to analyze are longer games and games that you have lost. But even it's important to analyze and check was everything correct here. So let me analyze that game. Okay, I have to copy PGN, so I go to the archive and I copy PGN. So okay, you just need to give me 5 seconds. Okay, so I get PGN. Of course, I want to get a raw PGN. I don't want to check any engine analysis before. Okay, let me paste the PGN. Okay, I think I have to. Okay, I think right now. Okay, of course, I'm gonna switch off the engine and I'm gonna go through the game. It wasn't a long game, but you see, when you go through the game, you can use Opening Explorer. You can see Opening Explorer because, you know, this is not the engine and it really helps, right? I will use it to make my comments as well, right? Okay, so let's start. I know a little bit theory here, so I will play a couple moves faster. G3. You can see G3 is the most popular move, as I explained. It's slightly better than knight f3 because it makes impossible to develop black's bishop to b7. But okay, here it was theory all the time. d5. Yeah, now usually there is a different moves order. e6, d5 is more common, but it's nothing wrong with this move. Here, castling, bishop e7. You can see, okay, you see I will make a first note because you can see that bishop d6 is definitely more popular than bishop e7. Bishop e7 happens, but bishop d6 is more popular. I will just comment more common, let's say. And you see, because that move is more popular, and probably I'm gonna play that line in the future. So I will put some line on right now. So okay, so white plays c4. Okay, black usually plays c6. White goes b3, and now white bishop d6, because now black can go queen e7. And now you can see that it's not so easy to play bishop a3 because queen and the bishop, they are watching on the diagonal. So that's the whole idea, as you can see. So how white is dealing with this? Usually, okay, I know that even if you take a look at the Explorer, you can see that bishop b2 is the most common move, although I really want to exchange the dark square bishop, so I go a4. And now you see that now I have got two pieces that are protecting here. So I can develop my bishop to a3 later. Also, I tried to go a5 and get a lot of space on that, on the queen side. So black usually goes there, bishop a3, takes, knight takes, okay, black castles, okay, and now, okay, because during the game I started with that idea first, but here I see that it's a good idea maybe to start with the knight. Okay, black plays b6, knight goes there, bishop b7, knight d3. You see that exactly, this is exactly the same idea. Opponent goes here, and now maybe knight from f to e5. Yes, because that knight is, you know, is pretty good here, so I can go there. Yeah, and I will put a you see, I just want to put also an annotation that position is equal, and let me comment it a little bit. White attacks in the center. So this is my plan. Probably I'm gonna bring my rooks, my queen, my rooks, and there's gonna be a big battle in the center. Okay, but let's go back to the game. So bishop e7. You see, of course, I'm gonna later save it and keep that PGN, and you know, in the future I can also go back to this game and I can check it, right, if I need to. And I'm also gonna remind, I'm gonna refresh some lines in the stone wall. Okay, so I play c4, okay, castling b3. You can see that this is still the most common way of playing. Black plays c6, bishop a3. You can see that white has got 49%. So yeah, black of wins, right? Black has got only 19, and in over 200 games, so looks pretty good for white. Bishop takes a3, knight takes a3, of course. Queen e7. Actually, okay, because you see, during the game, after I played queen c1, I was thinking about this move, but now in the Explorer I can see that there is queen c1. And queen c1 is actually more common, so okay, I think I played queen c1. Okay, and now opponent played knight d7. This is good. Queen b2. Okay, and now opponent played b6. And here again, I'm gonna comment that more common move, as you can see, is knight to e4, right? And after knight e4, of course, I want to follow my plan, but there might be a small problem that black can play f4. So maybe I'll start with e3. You can see I'm defending that square, and after g5, of course, you can see that black starts the attack on the king side, but I don't need to be afraid of this, because black hasn't got that dark square bishop. That dark square bishop was a very, very dangerous piece. Okay, but right now I will go, yeah, here. They recommend rook a d1. Yeah, looks good. And I'm pretty sure white has got the advantage even after rook f6. Okay, so now knight e1. Probably the idea is to move knight d3 and later f3. So white can defend. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. So I will put like that white is slightly better at the moment, at least in my opinion. Of course, later probably I'm gonna check it. But okay, opponent played b6. Okay, now I decided to play rook c1. You can see that I wasn't sure what to play. I also considered knight c2 move, but after knight c2 I was afraid of bishop a6, and that pawn is hanging. So let me just check this line. I know I played rook ac1, and if you take a look at the Explorer, it looks correctly. But what happens? I just want to check it here. Okay, actually no one played bishop a6. Why not? Is there anything wrong for black here? I cannot go knight b4 because of that queen. I cannot follow my idea because of that move. Pawn's hanging. Knight e3 doesn't make much sense. What am I going to do with that knight later? Okay, honestly, I don't know what to do. Queen c3, I don't want to put my queen, you know, I'm a little bit afraid what to do if rook will come to c8. Okay, anyway, I have got no idea. I will just keep that later when I will go through the game again with the engine. I will just check it. What does the engine think about it? But okay, I played rook to c1. Okay, opponent played bishop a6. There was even one game like this, and c takes here. You remember I wasn't sure should I capture at the d5 or not. But I decided that, okay, if opponent doesn't protect this pawn, yeah, I'm not so convinced to bishop a6. I will put a question mark into this move, because yeah, and double check. Yes, bishop b7 is more common move, so bishop b7. Yeah, I will put a question mark or something like this. That means that it was like an uninteresting move, right? So suspicious move, right? That question mark and later exclam. Okay, but let me just put the line with here. Yeah, probably knight c2 or rook d1 maybe. And in case that black goes there, e3. You see, after knight e4, you can see that white wants to play e3 to stop that idea. Rook c8. And now knight c2, there is a line like this. I wanted to play it this way. a5, knight e1. Okay, black plays something, and with the idea to go there, knight d3. This is a very common position right now. Okay, but okay, so bishop here. And now I see that at least in the engine, there is, and not in the engine, but in the Explorer, there is one move, rook d1. Although I like my move, I like the way I played. I captured that pawn, and okay, let's. I think that was good. I don't see anything better than this. Okay, opponent captured with the knight. This is 100% sure a big mistake. I'll put a question mark in this move. Okay, and now let's discuss what happens if black captures with this pawn and with this pawn. If black captures with this pawn, which I also don't think that this is good, as explained, I wanted to take it here. And okay, if queen captures, because by the way, bishop cannot capture because here, and you can see that there is a pin. And later I don't know, play bishop f1. You know, after here I can go like this, and I think I win material. So this is quite good for me. Okay, I will put that annotation that white's winning here. Okay. In case of queen captures, I wanted to take, bishop takes, rook e1. Rook wants to go into the open file, and I think white has got the advantage. Later I can go knight e5. One rook is very active, another rook is very active. That pawn is very weak. Okay, so I think position is, let's say, plus equal, so white is slightly better here. So this is what happens after e takes d5. And now move that was probably the best, so it's c takes d5. What to do right now? My idea during the game was to play rook c7. Okay, so rook c7 or not. Knight e8, and I have to move my rook back. Because rook c7 would be pretty nice. You know, it creates a threat to knight e5. I can bring another rook. But what to do if opponent plays here? I have to go back, let's say to c2. Okay, is there any other candidate move right now or not? Rook c7 for sure. But is there anything else? Knight e5 now doesn't make much sense. I don't see point in this. Yeah, okay, I think I'll go there. Of course, after bishop e2 right now, queen takes. And if queen takes there, queen takes e6. Looks good to me. So opponent has to remove that rook. I will go to c2. I don't go back to c1. I go to c2. So my rook is, you know, protecting that pawn. As well, I can double my rooks on the c. And what happens? Knight d6. And now I can bring another rook. Yeah, okay, this is, to be honest, this is the line that I expected that this is gonna happen. So probably that was a better move, c takes d5. But of course, I'm gonna check it with the engine. Okay, so knight takes d5, rook takes c6. Okay, and now bishop e2. Yeah, it has to be wrong. Bishop e2. I know that black lost a pawn and black's position is really bad, but bishop e2 is for sure a second mistake, because you know queen takes here, and now you know it's here, and queen captures e6, and I'm winning material because you know it's a triple attack. So just one last thing, what black's supposed to do instead of bishop e2. Yeah, probably in this case the best move for black was to play something like rook here, trying to remove my rook. That was probably better. And if I bring the rook, I don't know, I can exchange and bring another rook. Or I know that usually when you're down it's not a good idea to exchange pieces, but my rook is very dangerous. So let's say takes. Yeah, okay, and white has got the advantage because white is up a pawn in this position. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, so this is my, in the end of every game you should also make some conclusions. You should sum up your mistakes. Actually, you know, it was 15 moves game. I knew theory for like 12 moves. So I think I didn't make any mistakes. And now let me double check it with the engine. Okay, we don't need to, we checked the Opening Explorer actually. So I can start from the moment that I wasn't sure. Okay, so now I switch on the engine. Engine says e3 or rook ac1. I played rook c1. You see, I'm just checking. Was I right in my way of thinking? Yeah, rook c1. Okay, and you see, if you remember, I considered also knight c2 move, but I wasn't sure what to do after bishop a6. Maybe engine's gonna give me some hint. Okay, engine wants to play rook c1. So I don't like such a moves, because I know, maybe I'm not saying that d takes c4 is great for black, but I don't wanna hello Karmar, I don't wanna give any chance to the opponent. Yeah, I just don't wanna give any pawn to the opponent or something. So okay, so let's go back. So actually I'm glad I made the right decision here. Okay, bishop a6. Yeah, you can see bishop b7, and in my, yes, also I put that bishop b7 would be better move. Bishop a6. Okay, and take a look. Engine wants to capture at the d5. Engine also wants to play knight c2. Okay, I don't want to play knight c2 because of that pawn. b4 makes some sense, but engine also likes c takes d5. So okay, so that was fine. And now take a look. Knight takes d5 and e takes d5 are not correct. White's advantage is around 1.5, as you can see. So you see, I was right in my thinking that black's supposed to capture this way. And now, okay, engine wants to play rook here. I wanted to go rook c7. Is there something wrong with this move? Okay, instead of knight e8, rook fc8, rook c1, queen d8. Okay, and probably I have to go back. So okay, so engine in the, okay, so because you see, now I have to make some, I have to correct it a little bit. So I will delete this move and I will put the new line in here, queen d8, and I'm gonna say that position is equal at the moment. Okay, so okay, so this is like the tiny mistake that I made here in the analysis. I would even call it inaccuracy. And engine actually wants to play rook c2. So rook c2, so rook cannot be removed, because opponent can remove my rook out of the c7s, and I'm gonna lose one tempo. Maybe I put a comment. It does not lose the tempo. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, but anyway, opponent captured with the knight. Of course, rook takes c6 is correct. Okay, and now in my opinion, rook a c8. Engine also wants to play rook a c8 or rook a to d8, and opponent played bishop takes e2, which is of course completely wrong because queen captures e2. Yeah, and this is the moment that opponent resigned. White is +6, so you cannot be surprised. Okay, so we see it was a pretty short game. Okay, it took me 25 minutes, even if it was a short game, but okay. So now I'm gonna download it. And yeah, and keep it for the future. Okay, because it was a pretty short game, so I will try to play one more. I'll try to do the same, right? I'll try to repeat the same process. In the end of every game, it's a good idea also to put some conclusions, although, yeah, okay. The best conclusions are about your own mistakes, right? Here, actually, I think I played pretty well, but also, you know, game had got only 15 moves, so yeah. Okay, so let me find someone who wants to play for 10 minutes. Okay, I have got another opponent, international opponent again. Okay, so I play e6. So you can see I'm gonna play the French defense. Okay, knight c3. I usually play or Rubinstein variation or classical variation or Winawer variation. Which one should I pick right now? Let's start with the Winawer variation. Okay, I hate this move because this is kind of a version of the exchange French. So I'm gonna take it back. And my bishop is misplaced. I mean, it's not very bad, but yeah, okay, bishop d3. And now, as I remember, the best plan for black is to develop knights like this. Bishop probably to g4, queen d7, and castle queenside. So okay, so I play knight c6. Okay, I can go here and exchange bishop, but I think I prefer bishop g4 at the moment. Bishop goes to f4. I don't like my bishop at b4. Okay, just pointing the knight, so basically it's doing nothing. I just even consider moving my bishop back to d6. I know that it exchanges, yeah, but I'll go. I don't see any point in having bishop there, especially that if I'm gonna someday castle this way, I'm only helping my opponent to go like this. So I think I can go here. You can see that I tried to capture because knight is pinned, but I don't expect that opponent will fall into the trap. f3, okay, and now I have to analyze options. I can take it here, but then knight takes, or I can go move back my bishop. Yeah, maybe I'll go back. You know, I can always move my bishop to g6 and exchange. Okay, bishop b5, take a look, but my opponent did something reversed. I moved my bishop here and went back, and opponent went to the good square and now moved here. I don't think this is a good idea for my opponent. And now question. One option is I can castle this way, and you know, just like a standard opening, so I can put my rook on the e and play on the e file. An alternative is to go there and castle this way. It's gonna be position is gonna be definitely more sharp, like always with the opposite side castles. What should I do right now? What would be right decision? Okay, it's just a feeling, but I have got a feeling that that would be a little bit too much. So yeah, I decide to castle here. Later, of course, I'm gonna check Was I right or not? Okay, of course I take my queen. Queen d2. Should I chase that bishop or not? Should I just leave it like it is? I mean, I want to move my rook there and there's gonna be a pin, but should I be afraid of it? Ah, okay. By the way, opponent wants to play knight f4. I'm pretty sure this is what my opponent wants to do. I don't want to go there because g4 and some kind of a fork. But if I go there, bishop a4, knight a5 maybe even, with the idea knight c4. That would be pretty good, but if I go there, opponent captures. I take with the knight, knight f4, attacking here, attacking here. Okay, and probably I'm afraid that I may lose something right now. So, okay, so maybe not this move. But that bishop is doing nothing, so maybe I'll just go back. It was completely useless, it was unprotected there, so I go to the diagonal that at least I can attack it, something there. Now again, I'm just thinking, should I go here or not? Takes, I can always capture with a queen. Or should I just ignore it? Oh, let's play. Okay, so opponent captures here. And now important question, take it with what? I can take it here and later would be nice square at f4 for my knight. Opponent captures, queen captures. Knight cannot go to f4. Or an alternative is to take, of course, I don't want to take it this way. It's against principles. I want to take towards the center. Yeah, I want to take it this way. So, I mean, if I capture here, opponent takes, I take with the knight. Is it that good for me or not? Okay, now I see also I have got an alternative to capture it with a queen. No, but I would rather capture with a pawn. At least I have got, you know, a safe square for my king. Yeah, I take it with the pawn. Yeah, now of course I don't want to ruin my pawn structure. I don't want to take it here. Or maybe should I take it this way? Later go back. Oh, let's take it here. At least I put some pressure here. I want to play rook. Okay, this is for sure a mistake. One of the most, usually if in the position there is one open file, it's the most important thing in the position. And here for sure, opponent should bring the rook on the e file or some things like that. Because now I take control over the file. Okay, of course, I understand what my opponent is doing, but I think I can, I don't want to go there because of this move. So I have to go here. Okay, and you see also, this is one of the reasons why I captured with the pawn. Because you can see that, okay, opponent moved knight to g3, but what knight is doing there? It's doing nothing. Okay. Here, but take a look. Now I control that file. So what happens? Of course, opponent wants to go there. If I wanna be mean to my opponent, I can go like this. And you know, knight is completely restricted. Although I have got some doubts because that square is gonna be weak. So okay, so f5. Oh, okay, I have got less than 4 minutes, so I have to speed up a little bit. This is an idea, b3. So you know what, you should be mean for your opponent. But if I go there, rook e1, here, okay, let's play. Now would be nice to have a knight there. Can I bring it somehow? I can make a long maneuver. Okay, I don't see anything better. Like in the first game, I made this, I wanted to make that, okay, rook can go to e5, but I have got here. Exchange or not exchange? Okay, let's trade. Let's capture. And now I want to go there. You see a beautiful square for my knight is e4. I know that we have exchanged a little bit, but okay, at least my knight is in a beautiful spot. I know that opponent can also move there. Okay, but right now you see e5 is completely blocked. Now the e5 is not that important, so I'll try to do something on the other side. I'm attacking that pawn. Because queens are still on the board, I have to be very careful about my king's safety. I lost a couple times in my life some games because of that. But the good news is that I can also go and attack opponent's position as well. Okay, I'm attacking, putting pressure on those two things. Now opponent, does it make sense or not? Let's have a try. Opponent cannot move, I take with the pawn, cannot move queen or the knight because, you know, opponent has to defend it all the time. So now how can I improve my position? I can bring my king to f7, but that's it. I can check, I can play b4 here. So I have got several different ideas. But I think I like b4 the most because it weakens. But b4 exchange, queen captures, opponent has got two weak pawns. Or maybe it would be nice to infiltrate with a queen. Yeah, maybe I have to do some, you know, confusion here or here with a queen. This is probably better. Servus kruci. Okay, b4. Okay, but that pawn is very weak. And it's gonna be weak for a very long time. Maybe this move, and let's see what opponent's gonna do. Yeah, maybe this is not Zugzwang, but opponent hasn't got many possibilities. Cannot move the knight. Okay, can move queen here, but doesn't look very good. Okay, I play c6. I'm protecting all of my pawns. Maybe even king f7. Or should I keep my king here? Or should I? No, I'll bring my king maybe closer to the center. g4. Okay, this is what happens very often. Opponent is trying to play like in an active way, and it weakens the position. But okay, let's bring the king. Why not? If takes, I take it back. You see, I'm just slowly improving my position and waiting for my opponent's mistake. This is why I played c6, I played king f7. This is also, you see, I'm also saving a lot of time. And now I'm thinking, what can I do? Because no doubt that opponent's position is also quite solid. Okay, but I think I can go. Okay, opponent wants to capture and enter to h5. Okay, check. Yeah, perpetual. I have got the feeling that there can be perpetual check if opponent captures. I really don't want him to do that. Okay, but I think I see the way how can I exchange. Oh, I wanted to exchange queens. Is there anything good for me? I take, yeah, okay, probably nothing good. I have to go back with my knight. I have to find a different way. Queen and the knight, it is called, they are called, like, it is called a devil's pair, right? It can make a lot of confusion around the king. Hopefully, yeah, I want to exchange queens. It's not a secret. Because I have got if I can exchange queens here, pawn takes, and my king has got a nice path to go into the opponent's position, and I also have got very strong supported pass pawn. But okay, but I have got less than 2 minutes. Knight f3 doesn't make much sense, so let's go here. Should I exchange or not? Maybe let's wait a little bit. I can exchange it anytime I want to. Or maybe I should put my knight at e4 again. Maybe that idea, it does make sense. I'm attacking there. Why not? I can try. You see, I'm in a very comfortable position that I can maneuver my pieces and opponent can do nothing to me. Opponent has to wait. You can see now, for example, what knight cannot move because it's protecting, and queen has to protect that knight. So it has, okay, opponent can move, and I try to go here. It's gonna be a fork. So I'm just maneuvering my pieces and waiting for my opponent's mistake. It's not gonna be easy to analyze that game, because, you know, those are like a, you know, small. Okay, here, can I go there or not? Let's have a try. Okay, opponent did find a way to defend this, but let's say I play here. Should I take or not? Take, queen f3. Oh, okay, I'm blind. Take a look. Can't I just take it this way? Queen takes, I take at e2. I can win a pawn, but should I win that pawn or should I go there? Let's win that pawn. Okay, I see that that pawn is in trouble. Now I want to exchange queens. Of course, opponent will play queen d2, I'll check. Okay, in this case I check here. If king goes back, I will want to go there and attack those pawns. I have got 1 minute, so. Okay, let's go here. Would be nice to attack king from this side. But okay, let's chase opponent pawns. Yeah, you see, in the worst case, I will give a perpetual check, because you can see that my time is very bad. I can also check there and attack those two things if opponent doesn't pay attention. And I have to avoid a perpetual check as well. So you see, I have to think about a lot of different things. After queen c2, I can take it even here. Opponent takes queen f6. I exchange queens, that would be really nice. Okay, but you can see time is almost equal at the moment. We both have got like 1 minute. 1 minute, yes. Okay, and opponent falls into the trap that I actually talked about. I can go there. I mean, king or a pawn. Pawn probably. Okay, the question is that win or not? I think so, but f5. Okay, for sure I want to take. Here. No, okay, it should be win, but okay, opposition. Okay, should be win, but I'm not 100% sure. Because opponent also is going to promote. I think opponent's pawn is gonna be on the 7th rank. I move my king to g4 because I was okay, and now we have got the theoretical endgame. This is of course win for black. Now I'm just bringing my queen back. With the b pawn, it's win. Now I have to force my opponent's king to move in front of the pawn. Okay, I won. And you see, my opponent's king is gonna be here. I bring my king closer. Later, opponent moves somewhere. I repeat. I bring my king closer, and so on, until my king is here. Okay, so that was pretty interesting game. Let me just make a quick analysis here. 1 second. Let me just get the PGN from this game. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Karmar. See you next time. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, I get a PGN, and as before, I'm gonna do a I'm gonna analyze that game. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy to analyze it, especially. Okay, I know probably engine will show a lot of interesting things, but okay. So, okay, analysis board. I paste the game. I'm not sure. Okay, I have to change it also here as well. I switch off the engine. Okay, and now take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, I was playing black, of course. E4, E6. Here. Bishop B4 takes, pawn takes. Bishop D3. This is knight C6. This is, as you can see, all the main line. Knight here, knight E7. Castling, bishop G4. Bishop F5 is more popular, but you can see that bishop G4 70 games, and black has got much better statistics there. So I think that was a good decision. Bishop F4. F3. F3 is a more common move. So here, and bishop H5. Okay, and after knight G3, bishop G6. Okay, I see. Okay, so I will just put a comment that more common is F3. But okay, bishop F4 also, it's I think not a bad move. And now I played bishop D6 at the moment. You see about bishop D6. Here I see that castling was played. Actually, two strong players made the castle. And what was the line? Let's say white plays F3, bishop H5. Okay, queen E1. Yeah, maybe it would be better to wait for bishop D6 move until opponent plays A3. But okay, I decided to go bishop D6. I think it was nothing wrong with this, even if it's not in the Explorer. I think it was fine. Okay, white plays F3. Okay, now you can see that Explorer is no need. So just to remind you, now I go through this game without an engine's help. I will put, you know, some remarks, right? Well, my thoughts here, and later I will check it with the engine. Was I right or not? Okay, Bishop H5. I think this is good. Bishop B5. I don't like this move. I don't like this move for white because, yeah, I will just put it like suspicious move because I don't see the point in this. Bishop here is pretty good. In my opinion, that would be better for white to play. You see here, sorry, bishop's hanging. Okay. So that would be better for white to play, let's say, queen d2, rook e1, wait until I move my queen, and later, you know, take it there. Castling, let's say rook e1, rook here is also going to be useful. And yeah, if I were white, I would play like this. I don't like, because it's not a good idea to move the same piece twice in the opening. Castling. Now, if you remember, I had got also an idea to move queen d7 and here. So okay, let's put the line here. I'm not saying that this is better, but let's just check what's gonna happen. Okay, you know what? I will put that this is an interesting move with a plan to castle queenside. Yeah, we have plan to castle queenside, and later, you see, I keep that idea in mind. It was like in my intuition told me that it's better to castle here, so this is the reason. But okay, castling here, bishop takes d6, another mistake. Opponent should wait until I move my queen somewhere and gain a tempo. So I will just again put a, you know, suspicious move, and now white should have wait with capturing until I move my queen. Okay, queen takes d6, queen d2, bishop g6. Okay, I think that was fine. Knight f4, and now I decided to play a6. I wanted to solve the problem of that bishop. So okay, I think a6 is fine. I have to say that I still like this move. Knight takes g6. Was it a good move? Probably it was fine. And now I captured here. You remember I also considered taking with the knight, but I decided to take with the pawn because, you know, it makes a safe square. Also, I will need that knight at c6 later. Okay, so h takes g6 I think was fine. Captures, knight captures, okay. And now opponent played knight e2, and here I'm not gonna put any, I'm gonna put an annotation that this is for sure a mistake, because in my opinion white should go rook f e1. White should fight for the open file. Okay, so rook f e1, yes, this is the most important highway on the position. So knight e2, it cannot be good. Okay, rook e8. Yeah, okay, of course, now I'm just doing the same. Rook e7, I'm trying to double my rooks. That makes sense. Knight g3. Mistake. Yeah, this is mistake in my opinion. Hasn't got many. Okay, from g3, right? You can see knight cannot do many moves, right, from this place. Okay, so knight g3, rook goes there, f4. Okay, so you see white is planning to play f5, and I was a little bit afraid that actually knight from the g3 can become more active, so I decided to play f5. And this is actually, I have got some, you know, no doubt that my two doubling rooks on the e-file was correct. About this move, I had got some doubts, if you remember, because it weakens my king. It also makes e5 square very weak, but I decided to block it this way. I think I considered also an alternative here. but it was b3. Is there anything else that can be better than f5? Okay, you see, I will just put a comment blocking white's move f5. Okay, is there anything else that can be good? Well, maybe rook e3, but then f5 and I don't know, queen e7. But then, yeah, my king's not gonna be very safe. So, yeah, so most probably it's not such a great idea at the moment. Okay, I think f5 was correct. Rook f2. Opponent wants to go there, and now my idea was to make a plan. Okay, I will just comment that, not to forget it. With a plan to move knight to the e4 square. But was it the best plan or not? Knight b8. Is there anything else? Knight a5 is gonna be meet with b3. Can I infiltrate somehow? I can go to e3, but you know, knight f1. Nothing really happens. There is no faster way to move my knight there. Okay, I think that was fine. Okay, so knight b8, rook e2, knight d7. Now I'm just thinking, can I win some material? But I cannot. Okay, here, rook goes there. And now I didn't play this move. You see, now I captured at e2. The reason why I did not play this move was here, rook e5. I know I can play there, but I don't like the rook at e5, to be honest. So this is the reason why I wanted to play. I wanted to exchange pieces first, and now if queen captures, I think I can take at f4, and after check I have got knight f8. So that wasn't that good. So knight takes here, and now I move my knight there. I want to go to e4. a3, knight e4. a3, it's like a move that, you know, doesn't change anything. Knight e4, okay, queen here, and queen b6. So now with a plan, okay, I will comment, the e file is blocked, so I'm creating threads on the queen side. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't have any other idea. I don't see how can I create any threads. You know, ATEX is about creating threads. I don't see any ways I can create a thread in the center. On the queen side, yes. On the king side, I don't see anything. So, okay, here, b3, queen a5, a4. I expected this move. And now b5, I'm trying to open the b file. Okay, this is, and again, the move that I like. Pawn takes, b4. Queen a1, okay, king h2. Okay, and now this is, the maneuvering has started, because you can see that opponent has got a weak pawn here, and that pawn, we call it backwards pawn. That pawn has to be defended. So, yes, okay, so this is one thing. Is there any other weakness? I have got beautiful knight at e4 that is, you know, blocking that position. You see, from a practical point of view, especially that here, I think I realized that I'm down on time. I had got like, I think less than 3 minutes, if I remember correctly. I didn't want to lose a time. And by the way, I won on time in the end, right? I mean, position was completely win, but I won on time. I wanted to improve my position at the moment without losing time. So this is why queen b2, this is why c6, king f7. Those are like a neutral moves that are making position better. And I think that was actually an opponent, and I can think at my opponent's time, how can I take advantage of opponent mistakes. So I think this is, from a practical point of view, this is a very good way of playing. And now g4, I think it's a mistake. I will just put a mistake. No need to open the position for white. Because you see, the best strategy for white would be just wait. I think that if king goes there, honestly, I don't see any clear way how can I win this. Of course, I'm better, but how can I, you know, make a breakthrough? I can go king f7, but what's that? I'm not gonna bring my king closer. Yeah, you can see that it's very hard to, and opponent has got only one weakness. Opponent's position is very solid. So, of course, I can try to, you know, move my queen to a1. No, actually, it gives me nothing. I can try to go there. Of course, if those squares are controlled, I can try to enter to f1, maybe some checks. But I don't see anything clear. But this is what happens very often when you are just improving your position. Also, you're saving some time. Opponent, not that many players can wait, right? You know, Petrosian was a great player that opponent could attack him and he was just waiting, right? But usually people are not playing this way. Usually they try to, you know, try to do something active, right? And g4, and it's only helping me. King f7, queen f3. Okay, of course, the idea is to capture, queen h5. White wants to play active way. White wants to activate. So, okay, so I checked here and I played knight d2. Okay, I think that was good. I'll just put a comment. It stops, g takes f5 and queen h5. Okay. So queen b1, king g2. I play knight d2. Okay, I think that was fine. Again, I have to try. Opponent opened the position, but that doesn't mean that my position is great. Here, check. Here. You see, all the time I'm also thinking, was it a good idea for me to capture the knight or not? Maybe that was a good idea to capture knight, but okay. Knight f3, king g3, knight d2. Okay, now I repeat some moves. Knight c4 here, and now queen d3. Now, if you remember, as I remember, I tried to bring my knight to e4. I realized that maybe now would be nice to put pressure on that pawn again. So here, knight d6. I have to admit that I like that idea. Knight e4. Okay, opponent plays there. And now just queen e3, and now it's yeah, you see, I like that maneuvering. You see, it's extremely hard to analyze, because I bet that we will check it with the engine. I bet that engine will show that, you know, I don't know, instead of this, slightly better was take at g4 and later play knight e4, but honestly I cannot see any difference, right? It's there are very small differences. Okay, queen e3. Of course, I'm pinning the knight, and that's the idea. Knight is pinned. Okay, queen goes there, and now in that position, I think, was it a mistake? But what opponent could do? Moving queen is gonna lead into this move. So I think white cannot save the c3 pawn right now. At least I don't see the way. And after this move, I decided, I know I could take it immediately, but I decided to take it here first. Knight c3, okay. Now queen has to take it. As you can see, queen takes e2 here. And we have got a queen's endgame. Of course, pawn's hanging. So, and I'm up a pawn, so I go there. Queen b2, I'm not so convinced of this move. Honestly, I was a little bit, I mean, afraid maybe it's not a good word, but I expected this move. So I wanted to give a check to the opponent and not king h4, because I don't think that h4 is a good square. And let's say king here. And here is the question. How am I going to break through right now? Because you can see I'm up a pawn. I'm up a pawn at the moment, but what's then? What can I attack? Because take a look. Actually, the funny thing is that that rank is protected pretty well. You can see that those pawns are well protected. c5 doesn't make much sense. Is there any plan for me to win this? G5 gives me nothing. I cannot bring my king. Yeah, to be honest, looks like a small fortress to me. Okay, probably I would try to move my queen somehow to this place. And try to exchange queens somehow, but still looks like a pretty solid position. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, queen b2 here. Queen b2. In my opinion, that was a mistake. Yeah, queen d2 definitely. Here, and now king h4. Another mistake. Not a good place for the king. King should go to g2 or something. And similar story, by the way. I mean, right now I have got this move. Yeah, but after king g2, queen e3. Okay, that looks also good for me. Yeah, so not queen b2. Queen b2 was a big mistake. Okay, here, and now I played queen e3. Okay, I think it's nice. It's nice. Opponent cannot play here because this is what happened during the game. Is there anything better for white? Queen c2 for sure was a mistake. For white, it was better to even, you know, give up that pawn. But okay, so I have to put a mistake here. But what else white could do? Maybe white could go like here and try to give me some checks later. Maybe that would be better. But okay. Queen captures here. Okay. Here. And that pawn endgame should be win. But why I had got some doubts. Opponent played f5. Not a bad idea. Opponent's trying to block my king from coming. After king g3, I also... You know, here I think I had got like 30 seconds, so it's not so easy to calculate this. But after this move here, I was a little bit afraid, and now after d4, king goes there. I was a little bit afraid of that line. And is that win? I play d3, takes. After here, I win by playing this. After this move, I can go there. King goes here. King captures. f5, takes. I move my king somewhere, opponent takes. Okay, but we promote at the same time, so I cannot take it. If I play g5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 moves, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I need only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, should be win. You can see that. Okay, opponent can take it even here. Okay, I promote here. Okay, so that was also win for me, even after king g3. Okay, opponent win there. Of course, I don't want to block the position, and now I saw that idea that I can sacrifice a pawn, and now I just go here. I take the opposition. Here, position, king d3, king f5, and here, of course, there was no time to calculate everything here, but I just knew that it has to be a I just knew that it has to be a good position, because I think I'm up a tempo right now. King g4. I mean, yeah, and I'm just gonna go into the endgame. What you just need to know about that endgame, that with queen c1. By the way, the fastest way was just to go queen f4 and stop that pawn with a queen. You just need to know that usually those positions, with those squares, if that pawn would be at on the rook files or on the bishop files, it's gonna be a draw. But on the blue files, queen can win. And now the idea, okay, let's forget for a second that for me it was better. Yeah, better was. I'll just put a comment. It wins faster. Okay, queen c1. What was my idea here? My idea was to, here again, instead of playing there, I should have bring my king because opponent cannot move forward, right? So king f5. Yeah, so I could play it slightly more accurate. This is still winning, king, queen c5, and here opponent lost on time. But take a look. Even if opponent, I will just show you the pattern. I will just show you the pattern, it's quite important. If opponent plays king d7, I wanted to go there, here, here, and now king has to go in front of the pawn. And when king is in front of the pawn, king can come closer. King goes somewhere, and now I repeat. I force that king to move in front of the pawn. King has to go here. Here, you see, it's the same story, right? Here, you see, this is, I'm making that kind of zigzags with my queen, and now I'm just bringing my king. And I repeat that process until I win that that pawn. Of course, I know how to checkmate with a queen. Okay. So that was the part that I went through the game without any engine's help. And now let me switch on the engine. Okay, so engine is on at the moment. And let's just check, was my analysis correct? It was a pretty long game. So, okay, let's take a look here. Okay, of course, this is the opening. Bishop f4, bishop d6. Okay, bishop d6 is first move out of the theory here. Okay, was I blind or something? Okay, you see, with engine it's so easy. I didn't see it during the game. I didn't see it during the analysis. Knight takes d4. Okay, and have to go, yeah, because you can see that it's a spin. Okay, you see, with engine it's so easy, right? So, missed tactics. Okay, yeah, actually, knight takes d4, and I'm up on the material. I'm up a pawn, and after f3, bishop c5 makes another tactics. Okay, I completely missed the knight takes d4. This is not a very complicated tactics, but okay, it happens. So it's gonna be like one conclusion, right? To work more on tactics, because you see what happens. Okay, so bishop d6, f3, bishop h5. Engine prefers bishop e6, but I don't believe that e6 is better. This move, bishop b5. Engine prefers not knight b5, attacking that piece. Makes more sense. Or queen d2. I think I mentioned queen d2. Yes, I mentioned queen d2 in the analysis. Bishop b5. Castling. Okay, here I considered queen d7 as well, but engine also, I can see that engine, yeah, for sure that knight takes d4 would be an exclam. But I can see that engine also wants to make a castle. You see in the all three castle kingside, in all three lines, you can see that, you know, it's a castling. So kingside castling everywhere. So I think that I was actually right about this. Bishop takes d6, and again queen d2. Okay, so here actually I was right about the calculation here. Queen d2, bishop g6, best move. If you're not sure what to do, bring piece into a better position, and bishop at g6 is definitely better. Knight f4. Okay. Okay, take a look. Bishop takes c2. Another missed tactics. Okay, I really have to do more puzzles or things like that. So, because I missed, okay, I will put an exclam to this move. Again, bishop takes c2. Okay, so another missed tactics, right, at the moment. It's I should have seen that I could capture at c2. And, you know, queen is overloaded. Queen has to protect those two things. And, you know, if opponent captures, I take it here. And I'm fine. I mean, I'm up a pawn, right? And maybe I can also get that pawn. So opponent maybe will not capture, but okay, I'm still up a pawn. I'm just very curious what other tactics did I miss in this game. But okay, we'll see soon. Okay, knight takes g6. Opponent, engine wants to take, yes, with the h pawn. Okay, takes. Knight takes c6. Knight e2. Okay. I don't know, engine wants to play knight e2. And I just don't believe in this move. Why? Why knight e2? Okay. Maybe the reason why knight e2 was that after rook fe1 there was queen b4. No, but I'm not at that. I cannot, you see, look here, I cannot take it here because of rook b1. Queen a3, rook b7. Yeah, doesn't convince me. Okay, I don't agree here with the engine. Knight e2. I don't see a point in this move. Rook e8, okay. c3, rook e7. Okay, this is of course correct. Knight g3. Yeah, mistake. Bad move. You can see that evaluation drops, right? From 0 to -3. Opponent, of course, wants to bring the rook into the center, rook to e1 or something. That would be definitely better. So bring my rook, f4, okay. And now, okay, you see, I decided to play f5, although, okay, there is also an interesting idea that I did not even consider, f6. Okay. Quite an okay, I will just mark it as an interesting move, because you can see the idea is that after this move I can go there. Okay, it does make sense. I'm not saying that I prefer this one. I like f5, but I even didn't see that, right? So this is like a new idea that I have to remember for the future. Okay, f5, rook f2, knight b8. Okay, engine that was first engine's idea. Now engine wants to play b5 and knight a5, but knight b8 is also pretty high. Here, rook goes there, and now, okay, I decided to exchange. And engine doesn't like this move. Engine prefers, okay, very active move, king f7, or even knight f6. Yeah, king f, I don't get those two moves, but knight f6, and after rook e5, what I was a little bit afraid of this, knight g4. I can get rid of that rook. Yeah, maybe also that makes, I will just mark it as, you know, an interesting move. That makes some sense. Okay, so rook takes here, rook takes, knight f6, h3. Okay. I think I mentioned that during the game, but I also should have put it into the analysis that, you see, as I want to go there, white's goal should be to put the knight at the e5, because white also has got a very strong square at the e5 right now. So this is something that white should have do. So h3, it's not a very good move right now. And engine wants to play knight c1. Okay, so I will just, you see, now I can just correct a little bit. I will just comment after, with the idea to move knight to the e5 square. Okay, so h3 is not a good move, knight e4 here. Okay, and now actually, as I told you, I decided that my plan is gonna be to attack on the queen side, so I decided to play queen b6, and that was good. b3, queen a5. Okay, engine even says that it's plus 1.5. a4, b5. This is correct. Takes. Okay, b4, queen a1. Okay, this is so far. This is quite good, I would say, at the moment. Okay, king goes to h2, queen b2. Okay, and here is missed opportunity. I was sure that I missed something. The best idea was to go here and take a look. Now I think it's a Zugzwang. I will just put an exclam into this move. Because, okay, what opponent can do? Cannot move the king anywhere. Cannot move the knight. Can queen go somewhere? Maybe even I tried to go knight f2 and, you know, some kind of checks. Okay, queen e1 would be much better. I knew I missed something in this position. Queen b2 was too soft, probably. Queen e1 makes a lot of problems. So I should have actually pinned that knight. Okay, I went there. Here, c6. Okay, I was so happy because I'm just improving my position. Queen f3. Okay, queen b1. This is good. This move, and now knight d2. Okay, now actually I play pretty well. knight d2. Okay, queen goes to f2. Queen e4. Okay, so I've, except of the missed queen e1 and putting position into this kind of Zugzwang position, it's not that bad. Queen e4 makes a lot of sense. King h2 and now knight f3. Okay, I checked knight f3, but I repeat the position, and if you take a look at the first line, it also says repeat the position. Yeah, okay, it doesn't change, of course, anything. And now I decided to go knight c4, which is not very good move according to the engine. What engine wants to play right now? Engine wants to play, okay, but queen d3. I don't see what's the point of playing queen. Ah, okay. Okay, I see the idea. Okay, I wasn't aware that, because if you remember what was my idea, I moved there, and later I was so proud with the idea to go queen d3 here and knight e4. It's much easier to go here and just put knight at e4. It's much easier. Okay, so I will just put it as an exclam with the idea to put the knight at the e4 square directly. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, queen d3. I was so proud of that idea. I could do that two moves faster. And now queen e1. And queen e1 is a mistake. Yes, okay, I should have put a question mark in this move. Better move was for sure queen f3. And after queen f3, I think I cannot exchange, because it's gonna be, you know, after, but queen f3 would be definitely better right now. Yeah, because after this move, it was possible for me to play queen e3, and you can see that this is quite similar to the queen e1, right? You can see queen e1 when I could move like 10 moves ago or 15, and that would be probably much better. But here I have got knight is pinned again. King h2, and now I captured fg4, takes. And now actually I captured here, and this is a mistake. Okay, I was so happy that I can do some kind of tactics, but apparently this is not the best way of playing. Okay, I will just put a question mark on this. What was better? Queen f3, knight d2. Okay, because if you remember after knight c3, when we analyzed that queen's endgame, it was possible to set up some kind of a fortress for white. But at this position, okay, engine wants to go there. And what happens? Ah, okay, so maybe that king is in trouble. I told you that it's called devil's pair. So okay, after knight g3, I take this pawn. After g5, king e6. Yeah, white has got very limited moves. Okay, that would be very smart. Queen f3. Okay, so I made a mistake here. I was so happy that I can win the pawn. Queen c4, queen b2. Yes, okay, queen b2 is a very bad move. Queen d2 would be much better, as I expected, as you can see in my comments. And now king h4, another very bad move, as I go queen e3, and now that position is lost. And yeah, queen c2, I told you that engine probably is supposed to go, that the opponent's supposed to go there. And this is also what the engine thinks, but I think it's too late. Takes, 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 takes. Okay, f5. f5 loses. I will just check king g3 move. What does the engine says? Here. Okay, actually d4 makes a draw, according to the engine. Ah, okay, g5 wins. Okay, but let me check why is it a draw. d3 takes. Ah, okay, king e3. The idea is, oh, okay, I didn't even think about such a move. The idea is that after king d5, white can take that pawn with the opposition. Okay, you see, this is why pawn endgames are so important. You know, opposition is so important. You can get a winning position, but if you make a mistake, so that would be actually a draw. So instead of playing d4, okay, would be much better to go g5 and make a room for the king at the e5. So I was wrong in the analysis. Okay, d4, I will just put a question mark. I'll put a question mark, and after d3, king e3, exclam. and I will put that this is I will put an annotation that this is gonna be a draw. Okay, so I was a little bit lucky that my opponent wasn't as accurate as Engine. I captured here king e7, but this has to be win. I don't believe that this is not win. d4, d3, yes, you can see, and now king d5. Okay, it's winning. King e5 here. Okay, and you can see that Engine agrees that this position is, of course, completely win. And this is theoretical endgame that I explained to you. Of course, queen f4 would be more accurate, but I already explained to you that theoretical endgame, right? Okay, so now in the end, okay, so this is the position. Okay, in the end of every analysis, it's a good to conclusions. Okay, so definitely I missed a couple of tactics. If you remember, I should have captured the d4, I should have captured bishop c2, so I have to definitely work more on those small tactics. Also, I made one tactics, and I made one tactics that was wrong. I should be more tough for my opponent, right? Instead of, I should have go queen e1, I should have also play queen f3 instead of should be more for my opponent. Yeah, because I just played too soft, right? Knight c3 was a very soft move, right? That gave actually my opponent a chance, right? I tried to avoid this, but okay, it wasn't so easy. Okay, so take a look. So today I played 2 games. I went through them on my own. Later I went and I checked them with the Engine. First game was very short, only 15 moves. Opponent completely lost in the opening, but this game I think was pretty good, I would say. Okay, hello Nicolia, but we are just about going. We are about just to end today's stream. So next stream is gonna be next week. Yeah, okay. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to join my 10-week course to improve your chess. You can find it in the link in my profile, or you can find the link in the description to the video. And yeah, this is like I give 10 lessons how to improve your chess. 1 lesson every week with some exercises, some explanations, some useful links. I really encourage you to check it. Okay, and thank you very much for today, and hope to see you next time. Bye.